Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my podcast, So Opinionated, hosted by me, Lene. Thank you for tuning in today. If this is your first time listening to an episode, welcome. I would hit the subscribe button if I was you and check out previous episodes. I talk about a vast array of topics here on my podcast. Most of it has to do with personal experience, but I give my opinion on things from Black culture to politics to just anything going on in the world. And then, of course, I speak on things that are personal to me as far as being a single mom, being a teen mom, unfortunately being a victim of domestic violence, things like that, relationships, all types of different topics. So once again, thank you for tuning in if this is your first time, and just hit that subscribe. If you are a continued subscriber, thank you so much. I always appreciate those who listen to me. If you do listen, you know that I tend to go on a little hiatus. Sometimes I just gotta reel it in, take a step back, figure out what I'm trying to do, assess the situation at hand, and then just dive back in. So once again, thank you if you are a continued subscriber, and let's get into this episode. So this episode is titled 2022 Thus Far. Happy New Year, everyone. We're about a month and a half in so far, and how you guys doing? Hopefully, most of us are thriving just a month in, maybe not too much baggage from 2021 and anything that we were questioning or, anything that was kind of weighing us down. Hopefully, 2022 is giving you some answers, giving you some motivation, closing some chapters, because sometimes it's not always about a door opening. There are times where a door does have to close. So, and I'm saying us like that's me. For those of you whose 2022 is going like that, congratulations. For the rest of us, by that I mean me, who, yes, I had some baggage from 2021. A lot of it was emotional. There was some emotional baggage. There was some physical baggage too, but definitely some emotional baggage. Ooh, there goes that sun, that vitamin D. I'm telling you, side note, seriously, seasonal depression is real. I know for a fact that wherever I retire, it won't be here. I can't do winter, okay? I'm so over the cold weather. It's not even funny. And anyone who grew up in New York, you already know, but it doesn't have to be New York. Heck, it could be Alaska. I'm just saying, I can't do winter no more, okay? My body, my bones, it's like, sis, we need warm 365, even lukewarm, but cold and me are not working. And then on top of that, cold and no sun, I need the sun. The sun just brings out, it just makes me feel like it warms my soul. Things change when I feel the sun on my skin. So I'm actually doing this episode in front of my office / I don't know what I'm calling this right now, but this is where the sun is right now at my house. So I'm sitting here, and it came up and hit me as I was talking. So that's definitely going to make this afternoon a little better. Anyway, back to the topic. So 2022 for me, I'm hoping, right? And I feel like we all hope this for every year. But for me personally, the last 3 years, so 2019, that's 3 years. This is 2022. So 2018, guys. The last 3 years, not including 2022. So 2018, that's 2019. I had it right the first time. So 2019, 2020, and 2021 have been really, really hard years for me. And I've had, unfortunately, I've had some years where I was just like, come on, Jesus, now your child is, I'm over here. I'm over here dying. I need you to take this wheel. I know you don't give me more than I can handle, but this wheel right now is going to the side. I just grab it real quick. Give me a moment. I'll get back to you. So I've had those years, and then I went a very long time where things were really good for me. And I was actually saying this to my therapist, which, yes, I am pro therapy. If anyone who has followed my episodes before, I definitely don't think I could get through most of what I have gone through in my life without therapy. And thank goodness, therapy and my bestie, because unfortunately I have a lot of people in my life that just don't care about how you treat someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go through a lot. I hold a lot in. I keep a lot to myself just because, one, I don't like to be the burden for someone else. And sometimes breaking down to other people don't even matter. You know, you break down to someone and either they don't even have any encouraging words or even advice, because maybe they didn't go through it, but no encouraging words, nothing to make that breakdown better. It was kind of just like a waste of time. Or they don't say nothing, right? They add more to what you're already going through. So I recommend therapy, because even if you have someone like that, everybody's going through something, right? So sometimes people can't always be there for you. But I feel like the closest people to you, people who love and care for you, they can take a moment and give you something in that particular moment, because that's just how I work. You know, I have a lot of people that come to me for a breakdown or just want to vent or just want to say something. Because that's the empath in me. That's the Taurus in me. I usually draw people who got stuff and just feel like, oh, they could just spill their whole life story to me. It's literally been my whole life where, even as a child, I've had people always been okay with, like, here, this is what I got going on. I just wish I had more people like that in my life. But unfortunately, I don't. But either way, my point is that I'm pro therapy, guys. Do it, because, mental illness and just mental stability is important. And, it definitely, it works. Okay. So anyway, my point is that I was telling my therapist that I was thinking about, the years where after I left, my daughter's father, who, how I've said on other episodes, physically, mentally, emotionally, verbally abused me for almost 5.5. It's 5 years if you talk about the point where I was doing the steps to leave, but 5.5 years of that, and that's fine. I'm past that point. By past that point, I've forgiven, I've moved on. That's not even a hinder for me right now. But I remember when I was officially done with that, right, where that was out, I was out of the relationship, no longer interested. And then, I took the steps to recover from that. And once I got to that recovery place, I was in such a good mental, physical, like, things were going so well for me. I had just got a new job, and it was a good job with great benefits, great pay. I had my own apartment at that time. It was me and my kids, and, I had a car. I had reconnected with some friends that I was happy about the reconnection. Things were just going well. And I was actively dating, nothing crazy, but I was actively dating. And, it wasn't, no dates were really hitting, but it wasn't anything crazy going on. You got on a date, you got something to eat, got a nice little drink out of it. You met somebody new, but you just realized, we ain't going to work, and you move on. But things were really good for me at that point. I can tell you, before I had my daughter, because I was a teen mom, and I had my daughter at 18, right out of high school. I got graduated in June, and I had her in December. Right before that, that was probably the happiest. So right before I got pregnant in my high school years, I had a couple of things in high school. But anyway, I was good there, right? Then I had my daughter, had my second daughter, and unfortunately was in this relationship where those were that was the worst 5 years, miserable, sad, depression, all that stuff, right? And then after that, I got out of it. I can tell you from all of that stuff that happened up until after I left that relationship, and I did the work to figure out, why I stayed, all that stuff. That was my happiest point. And I can really say that, like, it was really the best mental, physical, emotional state I have ever been in. And I have not got to that state again since I was in the relationship I was in, my marriage, which was, literally, it was horrible. Emotionally, that was just disgusting. From that point up until, I got, and I don't want to say up until I got married, because I was in this relationship obviously prior to getting married. So up until that point, till I got, ended that marriage, that was my happiest point. And so getting back to, that's where I'm trying to get back to. I'm trying to get back to the point of where I left my daughter's father and before I met my ex-spouse. That's where I'm trying to get back to, because I literally can sit back and think about how content and okay I was. And I don't know, that's what I'm working through therapy. That's why I initially went back to therapy, because I'm trying to figure out, how was I in such a good state? What part of me somehow relapsed, right? Because prior to me leaving my daughter's father, I was very depressed, super depressed. I mean, it was not good at all. And so how did I relapse from finally getting out of that to getting back to that, to where I am now, where I'm questioning my worth and I'm trying to figure things out. And, that's where I'm trying to get back to. So that's what 2022 is for me. And those are my plans for 2022. My plans are to, once again, forgive myself for, the getting into a relationship that had red flags, that I knew probably wasn't going to be good, probably wasn't going to be healthy. And then also forgiving myself for being okay with taking the blame. Everybody plays a role. There's accountability on both ends. And I was by far not, because I don't want to say perfect. No one's perfect. I feel like I made my mistakes in my marriage. I don't think in the beginning parts, the end, I'll take accountability for my part at the end, and I don't even regret it. I feel like at that point, because I was so done, because I was so checked out, that it shouldn't even matter. But up until the checkout point, I worked really hard to keep that marriage. I worked really hard to, to bend and do whatever I could do. And it went from, walking on eggshells to feeling, like there was nothing I could do right. There is nothing I can do, because when you have someone, and see, what I try to explain to people is, you have to think about the whole situation. So it's not just two unhappy people, right? It's not just one person doesn't clean, or one person is always late, or these are little things. These are things I feel like can be fixed. If they can't be, you can move on. But these are minor things that don't make or break things. I feel like when you have things like addiction, PTSD, anger, these are things that no matter what someone is trying to do, no matter what someone stops doing, when you have those type of factors in a relationship, there is really nothing you can do. And I learned that, and I guess I didn't take it with me. I learned that when I was going to therapy for my daughter's father with the physical abuse, right? There really was nothing. It didn't matter if I said something or didn't say something. It didn't matter if I cooked or didn't cook. These things didn't matter when you have someone who's physically abusive, who is battling whatever they're battling, that says to them, I can punch this person in the face. I can kick them down a flight of stairs. I can attempt to choke them. I can bully them. I can, terrorize them. When you have someone who is thinking that way, there is no way you are going to be able to change that behavior. There's nothing you're going to do on your end. And so it's no different for an addict, an alcoholic, someone who suffers with PTSD, manic depression, things like that. There's nothing you can do. And I'm even learning now with narcissism, right? You can literally not talk, not call, not do this, change. You can do all these things that someone else, the person who has these things, these specific things, you can do all of these things, and it doesn't matter. There's still going to be the addict. There's still going to be the alcoholic. There's still going to be the narcissist. There's still going to be all of these things, because these are not things that can just be fixed. These are not things that, changing, coming home on time, or being considerate, or buying flowers. These are not things that can change these behaviors. The only things that can change these behaviors are, therapy and classes and helping them cope with that. So I have to learn that I kept apologizing and I kept